Hi and hello. I'm Tanya Wilson, also known as the Growth Strategist, and we are still in our expansion series. We're talking about business with soul. We're talking about expansion. This morning, I want to share a blocker to expansion, or one of the things that I feel is a huge deterrent when you are setting out to expand in your business, and that is complacency. And it happens from a varied number of sources, like complacency can set in, but I want to talk about one in particular on today. So, one of the first things that you can do as it relates to complacency is be in the habit of mindfulness. Now, I've talked about mindfulness before. This morning, I want to talk about it from maybe a slightly different angle. For the most part, we discuss mindfulness of, your thoughts and your self-talk, things of that nature. And this is like a segue to that, if you would. But I want to talk about the importance of mindfulness because it allows you to be connected. It allows you to notice when you slip and fall back into old patterns or thoughts and behaviors. This is why mindfulness is key when we're building a next level business, because outside of strategy and tactics, there has to be a space, especially at a certain level of business building, where you're tapped into your soul. Like, how are you feeling? Like, what is transpiring? And one of the things that could be causing complacency in your business is your provider. My goodness. So it could be a male provider, your husband, who supports you. His energy is supportive, and you have a tendency to set back into complacency, to fall back in complacency because of that. I want you to be mindful of when you disconnect, right? When you disconnect from the expansion that you said in January or at the end of 2024, going into this new year, I want you to notice when you disconnect from that expansion that you said you desire. Is it because of a provider? The second type of provider could be your job, right? Either where you work for someone else or the job that you've created for yourself within your business. It can provide a level of comfort, although it isn't in alignment with your expansion, that causes you to become complacent. So I want you to be mindful as we're moving into the day on today. I want you to be mindful of when you disconnect. Now, this is completely about going within. So when I mean disconnect, I don't mean like you can never take time off with your family and do things you love. If you follow me, you know that I am a component for that. I believe that your business should fund your lifestyle, not run your lifestyle. I believe that you should do your business around the life that you want to create. Here's an example. So I have a productive rest month in July and December. So because of that desire that I had, and it actually came from a time when, years ago, when I spoke with my dad and he told me he was taking the year off. He was an entrepreneur. And I was like, the year off? And that revelation that my father was going to take the year off, and he was remodeling everything in his home. And the realization that someone could do that, it caused a space of expansion within me. It set like a new desire for me, like in my business. Most likely people will take a couple weeks off out of the year, if that. There are entrepreneurs who never take time off, extended amounts of time. And I was that entrepreneur for quite some time. Like, I had never been off on a Saturday for about 15 years unless I was sick, which was so rare, or I was going to a business conference or something of that nature. But when I heard that from my dad, I set this intention to be able to have months off at a time. And so I, have productive rest months in July and December. So I am a component, right, for being able to do things outside of your business. But it doesn't mean that you disconnect on a soul level, meaning you free your energy of being expansive. And so I want you to be mindful as you progress throughout your day to see, like, what causes you to disconnect. And then you can do, we'll call it a reconnection reset strategy. And I talk about this more, not under that name, but inside Quantum Cash, but a strategy that helps you to reset whenever you feel you have disconnected from whatever it is that you're building and growing and expanding into as it relates to your business. That's my take on today. Business with soul. How to stay connected to the expansion that you're wanting to create. So many people fall away from their goals. Now statistics say within the first week of setting the goal. It used to be a good month, maybe 2 months. If people set a goal in January, middle of March, the average person was done. Now, and I think this has something to do with all of the distractions that we have available in the internet world and in our world space that we can connect with, that will disconnect us from our own expansion. One of the things I do, if you haven't watched the video, it's my intro video on YouTube, and I talk about building a routine that makes you brilliant. I've done my run for the morning already. It's about 9 at this time, and I've already done my morning walk, run, and just really connected with nature. I didn't disconnect from my expansion. It actually is a space of expansion for me. And so if you find yourself being complacent in your business and falling off, I want you to begin doing inner work, things that are going on the inside, so that you can become aware of when it is that you actually disconnect. If you're looking for this type of expansive energy and simple concepts that give you 3 to 5x results in your business, join us for Quantum Cash. I'll have the links to that either in the description box or in the comments, maybe both. And I'd love to support you. I'd love to work with you. It's a 5-week coaching container that supports you in quantum leaping, like jumping timelines, not, adding little bitty small things. Nothing wrong with that, but this is for those who want to grow at a different rate, right? This is for someone who's willing to bet on themselves. This is for someone who understands that the inner work they do always connects them to the larger, expansive outer work that they want to see manifest in their lives. Before you leave, don't forget to like, click, share, and subscribe. If you're looking for added support, you can always go to my website, renewfullcircle.com. Again, that's renewfullcircle.com. There are ways for you to schedule a complimentary call if maybe you're uncertain about how you would like to be supported. There are ways for you to work with me privately or in our amazing Academy 3D Success Academy or in any of my mentoring sessions. Peace and abundance.